congratulations on your role as a campaign activities or political activities chair. We'll go over your roles and responsibilities. It's not just about tracking hours. The job description, we're going to go over the job description, roles, rules, campaign hours, and then have some time for question and answers. The job description can be found in the TFRW Leadership Handbook. It states the main focus of the club campaign activities chairman, CAC, is to coordinate the activities of the club to help elect Republicans. It's not just counting hours, ladies, and gathering those. Your other duties include setting goals for volunteer hours for your club, gather and track volunteer hours for the club, report quarterly. Educate your members. That's your main role, is to keep your members educated and informed. Encourage your members to become precinct chairs and help them become precinct chairs. Keep a contact list of all your local and state elected officials. You are the club liaison with them. Organize meet and greets, events, candidates, and forums. If there's a forum during a non-partisan race, it needs to be done outside of club meeting hours. So if you have a club meeting and then you're having a forum, make sure that your president gavels out of the meeting and then have your forum. Assist your voting registration chair. That's a really good way that people can earn hours, is voter registrations. And help them get registered, the training and certification. If you're in an area where you've got multiple counties, do a day event where you can all go and get signed up at the same time. There are endorsement restrictions that we all have to be aware of, especially during contested elections, which are your primaries and your nonpartisan races. Club presidents, and this is from the bylaws, club presidents and campaign activities, vice chair cannot endorse. You should never do an endorsement in the name of a club. An endorsement is not just a written statement, but can also be taken by giving preferential treatment to one candidate over another. Say you invite one, but forgot to invite the other. You can't do that. Attending fundraisers for supporting a candidate, signs in your yard, pins, bumper stickers. Just kind of be aware of you're the image of the club to the elected officials, or the candidates, I should say. Presidents and campaign chairs may endorse if the candidate is themselves or a family member. So these rules don't apply if your spouse or yourself is running for office. Federal candidates. Now, we've gone over this several times before, and we want to make sure that we all understand that we can invite federal candidates to speak at our regular meetings. And if it's your federal representative and or candidates to speak. This includes allowing elected federal representatives to speak at club meetings about what they are doing in Washington, but they should be given a time limit to speak and be reminded not to speak about their opponents. So they can speak about issues and stuff, but they can't talk about their candidates, their campaigns. You may invite them to visit to mix and mingle with your club and or personally, and with the assistance of volunteers, hand out campaign material. We ask that you don't have them put out on the tables or on the chairs. Provide a table at the back of the room for all candidates to put their campaign materials on. When federal representatives and or candidates are present at any event or meeting, the following disclaimer must be displayed. And I really recommend you put this in you guys print this, have this printed up and have it laminated or in a little plastic sleeve, and always leave it on the table. And that way, then if a federal candidate comes into your meeting that you don't know is coming, you've got it and you're covered. And that is, solicitations made by federal candidates and office holders are limited by federal law. The federal candidates and office holders are soliciting only donations up to $2,500 from individuals and up to $5,000 from multiple candidate political committees. They are not soliciting donations in any amount from corporations, labor organizations, national banks, federal contractors, or foreign nationals. This disclaimer can be found in the Leadership Handbook on the TFRW website. You may place advertising from your federal representatives in your yearbooks, your directories, whatever, on your website as part of any fundraising effort. You may write news stories about your candidates. if they're in your club newsletter distributed to your website, your members. You may assist, your club members may assist the county GOP chair, GOP elected executive committee, and federal candidate forum, with federal candidate forums, debates, things like that. The club should not host it in their name. Club members may volunteer to assist federal representatives and or candidates by block walking, blogging, phone banking, distributing signs, postcard writing, letter writing, whatever you do to help encourage your members to help our candidates. You may not make, clubs cannot make contributions out of their PAC for federal representatives. And this includes paying for their meals, parking, etc. An individual member may, but the club cannot. Clubs should not host federal candidate forums. This includes inviting federal candidates to speak at a state candidate forum. This has been done a lot. Well, they'll have someone and they'll let them get up and speak. You can introduce them and they can stand and wave and that's it. Clubs should not publish news stories or articles in materials that are distributed to the general public. If you take your newsletter and you have an article about your candidate, about your federal representative and put it out on a street corner for people to pick up, that's not allowed. Fairness. And this is something that I've had brought up to me with people, that clubs are not always this way because of preferential. All candidates present at a meeting shall be treated equally. If you've got 3 candidates for mayor in the same meeting, they all get the same amount of time to speak or get introduced at the same time. Whatever you've got them, they all get treated the same. When hosting a forum during a primary, all Republican candidates should be invited. You don't have to change your schedule. You don't have to jump through hoops to make sure that they're all there at the same time. You pick your date, you mark your time, and you invite them. It's up to them to change their schedule to accommodate you. Somebody needs to mute themselves. When providing information to your members about forums or candidates, always use this disclaimer. This is not an endorsement of ABC Club, its president, or its campaign activities chairman. Only candidate information to help you make an informed decision and get involved with the candidate of your choice. This should also be put on another, piece of paper and laminate and have it available all the time. Campaign activities. What are they? What counts? What doesn't? And why do we? How do we? Why do we track? Teresa Kozmowski, as many of you know her, former past president of TFRW, stated, because it's a tangible demonstration of the value of the work our members do. It's great to translate hours to dollars worth of campaign work that a candidate did not have to raise or spend. And lots of things count. Campaign, and this is just probably a tenth of what you could find that counts. Gathering signatures on petitions, block walking, attending any kind of GOP or political activity meeting counts. If you go to another club's meetings, those hours count. If you go to the GOP executive meeting, if you go to the SREC meetings, those all count. Now, when you go to these meetings, it counts from the time you leave your house to the time you get home with no side trips. TFRW and NFRW board meetings, if you attend those, and even if you stay overnight or the weekend, like for the convention, that counts from the time you leave your house to the time you get home. We do let you count those hours that you're not at home. And surprise hours, travel hours. And that's what I'm talking about. These are these fun little things, it's surprise hours and they add up really quick. It does not include the fun side trips to, let's say, San Marcos or one of those. The Bucky stop for the bio break does count. What doesn't count? Paid activities. When I say paid activities, I'm talking if you volunteer, if you sign up to be an election judge and you get money for that, that does not count. Unless, there is a caveat, you donate that money to the GOP or your club, then it would count. Your monthly meeting does not count. The travel time to your meeting does, but your club monthly meeting does not count. Community service, which are Caring for America hours, that time does not count. That time should be put into your Caring for America hours. So when you turn those in for the Caring for America awards and stuff, that's where you would put those. If it's, somebody described it, and I thought this was a great one, if it comes from the heart, it's Caring for America. And that's kind of how they do it, that she uses as her barometer. Who tracks and reports what? And this is where it gets a little confusing for some people. Members are responsible for tracking their own hours, and the members report their totally quarterly hours to the club campaign activities chair. The club campaign activities chairs gathers all those hours, totals them up, and reports them out on the TFRW portal. And that's at tfrw.org. You do not even have to log in. You just go to the website, click on the campaign activities, and you can log them in that way. You report those hours in a total number, not just roll everything up. Don't give your campaign activity chairs 0.2 hours, 0.1 hours. Give them a rounded full number. Always roll up because you know you had extras. And then the same thing goes for the club activities chair. When they report them, please put them in total hours. The club activity chair should also be keeping track of the member in their club who has reported the most hours. So you should be tracking your members' hours and your total club hours. That member gets reported to TFRW. Actually, we're going to be doing this in June, actually, and that number will go to TFRW and NFRW. That person will be acknowledged, the person for the state. Well, I will total all those numbers up and then report to NFRW, the state member who has the most campaign activity hours. That member will be acknowledged in the book at the NFRW convention, and we will do something, we will acknowledge them and present an award at the TFRW convention. TFRW is also going to, this year, we are going to be giving awards for each club that reaches the most hours within their size group. So if you are a jumbo club, you'll be competing against other jumbo clubs. We're not going to make you, a small club compete against a jumbo. That wouldn't be fair. So that's going to be done at the convention. How do you track? There's 1,000 ways to track. There's 1,000 women out there. There's 10,000 women in the clubs. There's 10,000 ways to track. Here's some ideas. Use the calendar in your phone. Keep a paper calendar in your purse. Those little old ones they used to keep to give you from like Hallmark and stuff. Send them out to your club members. Go out and buy a half a dozen of them. Create a spreadsheet that lists your normal monthly activities and use that one to track. It's like I do that way so that I've got like my board meetings and my club meetings and my executive meetings and my campaign activities, work, those things. And then I fill in how many hours I do it at a time. Use the form found on the TFRW website. There's 4 different ones out there I've got posted as samples. So try those, see which one works for you. And encourage your members to share how they track. We have one club in my area that actually gives an award each month for the person that turns in the most hours for on a monthly thing. But they also pass out pieces of paper at each meeting for the people to report their hours. Here's some samples. This is from the Republican Women of Gregg County from a couple of years ago. And this lists all sorts of items that they could fill in and total up for that. This is, again, available on the TFRW website. Rockwell County, they use just a simple open sheet that you can write stuff in. This is the one I tend to use where I have all my items listed out on a spreadsheet on my Excel database, and I fill in my dates and my hours. This is how we kept track at my club for each club member, their hours and what quarters, so that we kept track of each club member and then we totaled it up so we could have the whole total quarter hours. Here are your due dates. We finally got a due date for NFRW. They want all of our hours by June 1st turned into me. So Your fourth quarter hours were due from last year, were due on January 15th. Your first quarter hours are due April 15th. That runs through March 31st, which is just this next week. Second quarter will be April through June, but you're going to estimate the June 1st through 30 dates, hours. So if you know your club normally gets, say, 100 hours in a month, you could estimate that 100 hours. Those are due to me by June 1st. I know it's kind of weird and they have to do it this way, but that's because of the convention and they need to have time to gather the data and stuff. If you have any questions, please get to me. So you're going to report your club hours by going to the TFRW website, as I stated. And you go to www.tfrw.org, you log in, and you click on Documents and Forms. And you select General Forms and Documents. And on the right-hand side, under Club Campaign Activities Hours, you click on that. And then you click on Quarterly Campaign Activity Hours Reporting Form, and you fill it in. This is here where you are. So you're going to go here. This is your TFRW website. And you're going to go here to About, or Programs. I'm sorry, to Programs. And then it pops up and it'll come up for Campaign Activity Hours. And that's where you're going to go there. And then this is the reporting form. You're going to fill in your email address, your Senate district for the club, your club name, and please put in your whole club name. You can put in like Connor Harrington RW for Republican Women, but if it's, do not put in CHRW because we have several clubs that all have the same initials. You're going to select what campaign reporting period it's for, and then the total number of hours, and then who's filling this in. So if I've got questions, I know who to reach out to. And that's it. You hit submit at the bottom and that's it. And it comes to me. And if I have any questions, I will reach out to you. In 2017, we reported 2 million hours. In 2019, 1,465,000 hours. At the end of 2020, we had 1,153,000 hours. My goal for 2021 was 3 million hours, and then COVID hit. I'm hoping to get to 2 million. We're at 1.4 million right now. So we're just behind the 2019 hours. If we can get another 50,000 hours in the next 2 months, it reported by now and turned in by June 1st, we will surpass our 2019 hours. So that's right now, I'd love to get to 2 million. If I could hit that 2017 hours, it would be fabulous. I know we've got the hours out there, but the problem is nobody's reporting them. TFRW goal for the 2021 period is 100% club reporting. I don't have it. When the newsletter comes out this next quarter, you're going to see that we have about 35 clubs that have never reported numbers. I'm challenging every one of you campaign activity chairs to get each member to report 100% of their hours. And then everyone earns hours, but not everyone reports hours. You're earning them, get yourself credit for it. If you have any questions, you can always contact me at vpcampaignact@tfrw.org, or my phone number is 214-364-3680. And I would be happy to answer any questions. And I'm going to stop sharing this screen and let's see about some questions. There I am. Do we have any questions?
I do.
Yes, hi.
Yes. Hi. I have a little problem coming up because there is a forum planned.
Okay.
For these people who are running for Congress in my district.
For Congress, okay.
Yes,
Oh,
state,
the 23 crazy, yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
the 10.
Yes,
it's
yes.
11 Republicans.
You got it.
Okay.
This is and these are federal candidates.
Correct.
Okay.
Who's hosting it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. A radio. These are going to be on the radio.
Oh.
And a Well, that's my understanding, or the newspaper. I'm not sure which, because I was not in on the planning for this exactly.
Okay.
But so could we say they are hosting it, but we're paying for everything and organizing it?
Okay, is
Is
it
this a
just for the
problem?
Republicans?
Yes,
Okay, then you're safe there. Okay.
we're safe.
Yeah,
But
you're
they
safe
are,
on that one. I was like, that's,
yeah. Oh no, we actually had someone who wanted to come, and they said, "Well, I'm a conservative," and
yeah, I know, they tried
and
that.
they were told, "No go, you have to be a Republican."
Yeah.
But anyway, but we still have a bunch.
Mhm.
We still have a bunch of Republicans that are going to be now.
Sure.
So is this okay if we?
Um,
Because it was a done deal before anyone ever told me.
okay,
So,
well, yeah, it's, the rules were put out, we revised them last September, something like that. But yeah,
right.
basically, it's always been that you can't have this. Yeah, you can't have your club name on it at all, though.
Okay. Okay. I will tell them this. I don't know that will happen. I would, club name can't be on it.
Cannot be on there. Cannot be on there.
I'll tell our president,
And if she has issues, she's to call me or Deborah. You guys
Deborah.
can get yourself in federal trouble, is what I'm saying. And
Okay.
and let me tell you right now, the Democrats are looking for ways to harass us. And that would be,
Okay. I will call her immediately.
not only would you get penalized, but every one of those candidates could be fined.
Oh boy.
Exactly. That's what you have to worry about. That's the
Okay. So
possibility.
our name can't be on it anywhere.
No.
Okay. I will.
Cannot.
I will tell them, and so
I know my phone's going to be blowing up. Yes. This is
yes,
not the
this is
first
a
time
problem. I will get on it immediately. And then my other quick question: committee meetings within our club count as volunteer hours, right?
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
for our like for our
Yep.
scholarship committee or something
Yes.
like
All
that. Because
that counts.
okay, I suspected that, but I had never seen it in writing.
All the
Okay,
time you're sitting at home sending emails out and stuff, that all counts.
okay, yes, I will be on the phone immediately after this.
And Vicki, all the time you're going to spend gathering the hours and stuff for
Yeah.
your club, that all counts.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And I just have a horrible problem getting people to report their hours.
I know.
And someone said, well, maybe it would be easier if we knew what to report. I have put it in the newsletter. I have put it in emails over and over and over. You know, first it's like I tell them in political that
Yeah.
you're not paid for, and in
Correct.
specific examples of this and this. And here's my phone number and my email. You can call me if you're not sure. And I can't get them to do it. I'm trying to get.
It's join the club. It's like pulling teeth with your bare hands.
Is it because they're they want to be modest or what? I don't.
I wish I could figure it out. It is very hard getting people to report their hours.
How does Rhode Island get all those people to report? I would just love to hear how they do that.
You mean New Jersey?
New Jersey,
Yes,
sorry.
New Jersey. Yeah,
Rhode Island is smaller, so it's New Jersey. How do they get those? I guess they're not Southern women, and so they're taught to be.
Well,
you know
actually,
what I'm saying?
What happened was I actually called the president of the federation out there and asked her, how did you guys do it? And she actually goes, oh, well, I called them. They only have 1,900 members or something like that, or 1,000 members.
Yeah.
They have 1,000 members and they only have 19 clubs or something like that. I'm thinking, I have clubs that are bigger than that, so it's like, but yeah.
Well, and even, and calling each person, I have said, of course, well, but my club is small enough to do that. It's just the push feeling back I get is you're just being too pushy. I don't want to do this.
That's my job. Yeah. If they don't want to do them, you mark them as doesn't want to do it. And at the next meeting, you announce the person and get yourself a cute little grab bag gift, just a cheapy
something. Yes.
A little elephant, a little elephant
yes.
pad or something. And you
go.
so-and-so turned in the most hours this month, and make it a big deal.
Yeah.
So that, hey, why, you know what, so, well, why shouldn't I get them? I know I work harder than her, because make it a competition amongst themselves, and sometimes that'll work.
Okay, so would I be asking them to report in April, March's? I see, I've tried that. So far, I haven't been able to get that to happen. So if I pass out a form at
Correct.
my April meeting,
Right.
I'd ask them to put their March hours on it.
Correct.
Then I guess I would be giving the prize at the May meeting, because
correct, you could do it. Yeah, I would. You would do it for like, yeah, exactly. You're right.
Yeah.
The one.
Yeah. Okay, that makes
every month's
sense.
work. Now, what this other club did, and I liked it a lot. The girl had a little piece of paper that had the member's name and phone number on there, and to fill in, and how many hours for the the March hours and stuff. And she said, as she was walking to each table then and talking to the ladies about filling it in, she goes, "Don't forget, you get 1 hour for coming to the meeting, because it takes about a half hour to get to the meeting and then a half hour home.
Yes.
So you get 1 hour for coming to the meeting." She goes, "So I expect at least, every one of you to turn this in with 1 hour." So
yeah,
getting them to think about it. So it helps.
Right.
Rita, you have a question?
No, I have a suggestion.
Okay.
I get the hospitality report, so I know the members who come to the general meeting.
Correct.
I know I allow them an hour because of the time frame to come and go.
Yes.
I also get the attendance when I'm at the board meeting, and
Right.
I know the start, finish, and I allow an hour of travel.
Good.
And I also pass out a sheet I put a sheet on every table so members can put their hours.
Great. That's a great way of doing it, because those are easy hours. Those are they're right there. The tough hours are getting people to turn in the hours when they're doing stuff outside of your club activities. Sometimes what you do is, do you know that voting counts? When you ask everyone, did you vote this year? Especially those, Vicki, those ones of yours that don't turn in hours.
Yes.
Ask them.
Okay.
And you go, everybody raise your hand that voted this year. Of course, the whole room votes, raises it. And you go, did you vote in the primary? Did you do this? And they'll keep their hands up and stuff. And they go, did you turn in hours for that? The time it took you to go vote counts. There's nothing more doing politically than voting.
Thank
so
you. Mm-hmm.
an easy hour or two for every single member. Don't forget also, count your associates' hours do count. All your associates, as long as they only report to your club, count. So your spouses that are all associate members, if they're helping you out on all these little projects and stuff, that all counts for you. So one of the big things we do is parades and stuff. Those all count. Working on the different activities all count. So when I drag my husband by these events, his hours count along with mine. So another easy way to get hours.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Okay, so we can wrap it up then.
No, you did a great job. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
I think we're supposed to go back into the main thing. I'm not sure how to do that.
Oh,
Done. So I'm going to stop recording.